So Scott, I want you to first start telling me about why you first started volunteering with Habitat, or why you even gave us the time of day.
Well, I actually started with Habitat when I was in the Army back in Manhattan, Kansas. That would have been in late 1900s or 1990s. And we did a couple faith builds through our church there. So then when I settled back in La Crosse, once I did get settled, I just started up again. I don't know if you saw my email this morning, but I've been involved with 3 houses on Avon Street, and I'm trying to think of the year, the first house. I think it was 2007 or 2008. And just a good hobby to have, and paying back the community, and seeing my efforts kind of pay off with a happy family getting a new home.
So you said there was a Habitat affiliate in Kansas you volunteered with?
Right.
Based on what you've seen at our Habitat now, and I haven't really had the chance to go visit a ton of other Habitats, how would you say that Habitat is different, or what did you see that was different?
I don't know, to tell you the truth. I was just a basic volunteer then. I wasn't nearly as engaged as I am now with helping out, and even volunteering as much. It was 2 or 3 times a year we did some kind of a build or something. So I can't really compare the organization. I don't know.
Is there, as you were starting to learn how to build and build up your construction volunteers, was there a moment that something clicked for you, the light bulb went off, you're like, oh, this is how this works?
Well, probably multiple times. I can't think of a specific example, but probably when I first started again, either Jeremy or Curtis would show me a technique to, I don't know, even as simple as cutting the board a certain way, or having the saw at a certain angle or something. Going forward, that's how I would do it, and it would turn out better.
Do you want to talk a little bit more about Jeremy and Curtis and what your relationship was with those construction staff members?
Yes, when I first started, Jeremy, I don't know what his title was. The titles have changed a lot over the last few years even. So he was on site every day, working as a regular carpenter, construction person. When I first started, Curtis wasn't even hired yet. It seemed like it was just Jeremy and one other guy from here, from the Habitat office, and then 2 or 3 volunteers every day. It was quite a bit smaller. It's obviously evolved a lot in the last 4 or 5 years especially. And I'm blanking on the title. Is it AmeriCorps?
Oh, yep, AmeriCorps. Yeah.
I mean, we didn't have those. We had Michael and Eric for a while as AmeriCorps volunteers. They eventually transitioned into regular staff. So my relationship with them was very good. I email Jeremy practically nearly every day. I have a question or send him something, or he sends me something.
What's a question? Give me an example of a question you would ask Jeremy.
I'm having an addition put onto my garage right now. So just earlier this week, I emailed Jeremy a copy of the contract just to bounce it off him. He said, yeah, that looks normal, looks legit. As you know, he's with the Home Builders Association, and I got some recommendations from him a couple months ago regarding good contractors, good carpenters in the area. Unfortunately, I won't say I've lost track, but I haven't been in contact with Curtis since he left. But I really enjoyed working with him. When he first retired, I texted him and said we'd get together for a coffee or a beer, and he's had a busy summer and I've had a busy summer, but I'll catch up with him sooner or later.
Yeah.
They both, getting off target, but they both believe in doing good quality work. They would have you slow down and make sure we're doing it right. And then a few times they'd have you do something over if it wasn't up to standard, or the quality wasn't good enough. So people can be confident that they're getting a good product in a well-built house. We stick to high standards and stick to the blueprints and make sure everything's done well.
Yeah. Is there something you've done on a construction site that you felt really proud of, or that you feel was a big accomplishment for you as a volunteer?
Probably the faith build that we did on Avon Street, Libby's house. I think that was the faith build they'd done, first faith build they'd done in a long, long time in La Crosse. And it was mainly Trinity Lutheran, but we had some people from English Lutheran help out a couple times. But so I kind of took the lead on that, and blanking on your predecessor's name. It might have even been 2 people before you. But I worked closely with her and got people from Trinity to come in and work. And it was fun to see that house go up and Libby and her family move in. That was probably the highlight. Although I don't know if I'm getting off the script again, but each time I go to a dedication, it's kind of a proud moment to see a completed house and a happy family.
For those that aren't familiar, can you just describe what happens at a home dedication or how that makes you feel?
Well, there's usually a big crowd of volunteers, family, sometimes board members, often quite a bit of food. Kaya will typically give some remarks, and often there's somebody there that actually gives a short blessing for the home. The homeowner typically will give a few words, and it's just a happy time, and turn over the keys, and kind of the culmination of usually several months or even a year or 2 of hard work. And everyone, it's a really I don't say exciting, but a happy time. There's always a lot of joy. Maybe joy is a good word to see the family take the keys. Usually there's kids involved, and know they're going to probably have their own bedroom or something like that. And, that's always fun to see.
When you first started volunteering with Habitat in Kansas, you said you were just on the construction sites. Is there something about Habitat's mission of affordable housing or something about the work we do in the community that really resonates with you, and that's why you wanted to volunteer?
Yeah, it's just I have some carpentry skills, and it's just my opportunity to give back to the community. Feel like I'm contributing. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sorry to kill the mood now, but I want you to tell me about a mistake you made while volunteering or something that you learned from.
I'm sure I made some. I'm just having a hard time thinking back. It was probably, we did 2 or 3 houses in a row that Jeremy assigned me as the cut man. So I was always on the saw cutting either boards or lumber or siding. I remember we did the siding on Prospect Street on a big 2-story. And I made several cuts, and they turned out to be too short. I forgot the overlap on the siding. Fortunately, we were able to use the siding, those pieces somewhere else where they needed a shorter piece. I mean, so there was no real waste per se. But, it was just a learning experience to remember the overlap and how the siding goes together. That was probably the first time I'd worked with that type of siding.
Measure twice, cut once.
Well, the measurements were right, but yeah. It's just how they overlap, and it ended up being about 1 inch short on each of them. So.
And I'm sure that was enough of a difference.
Yeah.
If someone was new to volunteering on a construction site, what advice would you give them for their first time volunteering?
I would say, we emphasize safety. To always be safe. Go slow enough so you're safe. Don't rush into things. Wear your safety glasses whenever you're cutting or drilling. And I would say just go with the flow. Sometimes it's a little slow getting started. If you're antsy to get going, we got the construction supervisor on site that particular day has to come up with the plan and what we're going to do that day. But just go with the flow. Enjoy the moment. Take in, and I'm certain most people will learn something. That's probably why some people come. But I think, again, they'll have that sense of fulfillment or some sense of accomplishment at the end of the day, that they can physically see something that they've actually literally built and contributed to the construction site.
Yeah, and I think that go with the flow phrase, I mean, it's not just on a construction site. We all should go with the flow in various parts of our life.
Yeah.
You talked a bit about Jeremy and Curtis. Do you want to talk about your relationship with other volunteers and what you've learned from other volunteers while on the job site?
I guess other than Jeremy and Curtis, the other volunteer I worked the most with by far would be Al. I typically worked a lot of Fridays and Saturdays with him. That's just how my schedule would work out. And Al's close to being a perfectionist and likes everything exact. He goes down to the 30 seconds sometimes on measurements. Probably comes from his background as a tool and die guy working with metal. Speak of the devil. Al's walking up the driveway right now. But what was the question? What did I learn from him?
Yeah, or just other volunteers in general.
Your phrase a little while ago, measure twice, cut once. Al would frequently say that. Al was obviously a hard worker, and I don't know. I'm drawing a blank.
Yeah. Is there? No, you're good. And we'll do a lot of chopping and editing. Are there, based on these questions and other stuff that I asked, is there anything you feel like I didn't ask you, Scott, or something that you would really want, highlighted?
So I'm a retired person. And whenever I'm out in the community and at church or at a fest activity or whatever, people ask, well, how are you doing? What are you up to? I say, I don't know. I'm retired, but I'm busy all the time. And I say, well, they ask me, what do I do? And I say, well, I volunteer at church and I volunteer at Habitat. And it always tends to perk people up. They recognize, oh, Habitat. And they recognize it as a good community organization. And I'm happy to be part of it and contribute to the Habitat mission, as you say, of constructing affordable housing for families in the area. That's the other thing, the area has really grown. I mean, we were pretty much north side, south side when I first started. I did help in the house in Arcadia, but I've been to Spring Grove and West Salem and Rockland and Toma. I did not help at the Hillsborough builds yet, but that might happen.
Yeah. Al, can I grab you in a couple minutes? Is it okay if I grab you in a couple minutes?
Yeah.
Awesome, thank you. Do you want to talk a bit about Fest and you incorporated Habitat on your pin? What is Fest? What was your role with Fest?
Well, for Oktoberfest 23-24, I was one of the parade marshals, the Torchlight Parade Marshal. And yes, you get to design your own button. You have, I don't know what the size is, about a 2-inch button. And again, I'm active in my church, I'm active in Habitat, and I was pretty active in the Red Cross at the time, donating blood and helping at the Red Cross site. So I picked those 3 things as an emblem on my button, or a part of a logo on my button, and just to represent how proud I was of those organizations. I also happened to have the Packers and the Badgers on my button, but those 3 were across the top.
Yeah.
And like I said, I was proud to be it. I double-checked with Kai to make sure it was okay to use the trademark or use the logo, and she was happy to give approval for that. So, yeah, people ask me about that too when they see my button. And, so that year, we marched in about 25 parades the summer of '24, and I handed out literally hundreds of those buttons. So, the Habitat logo. I ordered that when I first took over as parade marshal, 1,250 buttons, and I've given out about 1,000 of them. I got a few left yet.
Awesome.
So those buttons are all over the state probably. And we just had a fest event last night. Now that you mentioned it, Oktoberfest is coming up. Those that want to get involved.
Well, that was very nice of you to include us.
Absolutely.
I remember one of the very first neighborhood association meetings I attended, I got my own little button that I kept on my purse.
That's right, yeah.
And I think it's important that you mentioned that you volunteer with so many different organizations. We did a volunteer survey last year, and of the folks that responded, we found that 75% of them volunteer with another organization along with Habitat. People want to be out in their community and be involved with different things.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I totally agree and hope to continue. Unfortunately, I've had some surgeries over the last few years, and it sets me back a month or 2 at a time, sometimes trying to recover from those. So I might have to resort to going to the restore maybe rather than construction. But looking forward to getting back down to Stoddard. And are the caravanners finishing this week? Is this their third week?
Yes, some of them are leaving tonight. Some of them are leaving Friday night into Saturday.
Yeah.
So I'm going to the job site this afternoon to say my final goodbyes.
Good. Oh, okay.
That makes it sound bad. I'm not saying my final goodbyes.
Some are probably repeat from over the years. I don't know for sure. I remember we had a big group at Adams Street. Was that last year or 2 years ago? I remember we built a garage there when they were here. Put the whole garage up. So.
One of the very last questions I'll ask is just about your experience with the caravanners. Who are they? How have you worked with them? What have you learned from the caravanners?
Obviously, you know more about those people than I do. I mean, there are volunteers that come in and literally camp out for 2 or 3 weeks at a time, and obviously very dedicated volunteers. They travel from probably all over the country, primarily from the Midwest, I would suspect. Camp at a nearby campground, and then work full-time 2 or 3 weeks with the Habitat staff and the other volunteers. I don't know that I've learned anything specific from them other than, admiring their dedication to take, 2 or 3 weeks off. I suspect most of them, I'm pretty sure most of them are retired. But they really enjoy what they do. They know what they're doing, and they dive right in and get going when they're here. So they really accomplish a lot.
Good. Did you get a chance to work with them this year?
Yeah, just
Good.
one day, unfortunately.
What day was that? I suppose I could look. But were you there on a Friday? Did you get burgers?
No, I was
Okay,
not there.
I'm so sorry.
Must have been last Wednesday, I think.
Oh, okay, okay.
Or just a normal.
Yeah.
Normal
Cool. Awesome. Well, anything else you feel like I didn't cover?
No.
Okay, cool.